this story has an actual specific moment in time when it began. My second son was 2 weeks old, and I had come out of the room and checked the news that morning, and there was a link online that said, "Has the mystery of Judge Crater been solved?" And I thought, I don't know. Click the link, let's find out. And the article went on to explain about the judge and how he'd gone missing and how his disappearance had become the biggest missing persons case of the 20th century. And it was all very interesting, and I was fascinated. But when I got to the end of that article, there was one paragraph at the end, and it described his wife, Stella, how every year on the anniversary of her husband's disappearance, she went to a bar in Greenwich Village, and she would sit in this corner booth, and she would order 2 drinks, and she would toast her dead husband, and she'd raise one of the drinks, and she would say, "To Joe, wherever you are." And then she'd drink it. She'd get up, and she'd walk out and leave the other drink untouched on the table. And I remember the little hairs on the back of my neck standing up, and I thought, whoa, that's not grief, that's penance. And of course, the question pops in my mind. I thought, what if she knew what happened to him? And what if, for some reason, she never told? The story cropped up from that moment, and I couldn't ever get that image out of my mind. Stella sitting in that corner booth with that drink, toasting her missing husband for 40 years. It was very compelling to me. Great question, and I'm very glad you asked it. It's something Mary Beth and I wanted to discuss as well. She Reads has actually been in existence for 5 years this summer, so we're about to hit our 5th anniversary, and it sprang into being because Mary Beth and I, in our own lives, I lived in Texas at the time and she was in North Carolina, found that we were constantly recommending books to friends. And we'd have a friend come over and they'd look at our bookshelf and they'd say, "What should I read?" And both of us were kind of throwing books at our friends and saying, "Here, read this one, read The Help, or Water for Elephants, or Time Traveler's Wife." And we realized that the people in our personal lives really trusted our opinion on books. And we thought, well, let's take this online, let's expand it and share the idea on a broader scale. And so, on a much smaller scale than we're doing now, we began picking books as book club selections and sharing them online with readers. And it grew from that small idea.